very good afternoon and welcome to the Hopes Bowl Stadium in Dunedin for the Champion of Champions Pairs, a second of 4 tournaments over the month of July. It is the Pairs tournament and we have the women's final we're bringing to you very shortly between Sarah Scott and Bronwyn Stevens, the Dunedin Centre champions, up against Liv Bloomfield and Paris Baker, the Auckland Centre champions. And this is how they have got to this stage. Sarah Scott and Bronwyn Stevens, 1913 winners earlier this morning over Diane Patterson and Leslie Burke in the quarterfinals. Then in the semi-finals, it was a 16-12 win over Lindley O'Callaghan and Lynn Summerfield. While for the Auckland pairing of Liv Bloomfield and Paris Baker, they won earlier 19-5 over Adrian Tillard and Jan Larson in the quarterfinals, and then a 16-8 win over the Wellington combination of Lisa White and Lil Renata. So that's how they've got to the stage, and they are now underway in the women's final of this Champion of Champions Pairs here at the Hopes Bowl Stadium in Dunedin. I'm Brenton Vinnisroy, alongside me in commentary. Very good afternoon to Evan Roberts.
Afternoon, Brenton. How's it all going here?
Very, very well. It's great to be down in Dunedin. Of course, Evan, a national high-performance coach with Bowls New Zealand, and knows 3 of these players very, very well. Bronwyn Stevens and Sarah Scott coaching both of those players, and has previously worked with Paris Baker as well. And from what you've seen, Evan, this is who you expected to get to this stage?
Oh, look, these guys have been playing consistent bowls over the tournament, and some very impressive play by all of them. So it's great to see them all in the final.
Paris Baker, of course, under 25 singles world champion for Tonga in 2019, has played with Liv Bloomfield for the last 3 years. Liv returning to bowls after a 4-year absence, and has done very well with Paris Baker, as well as one of the champion pairs in Auckland. They also took out the Auckland Centre triples this season, playing out the Newland Bowling Club. Paris Baker and Liv Bloomfield, and Scott and Stevens, North East Valley Club, Evan Roberts' club.
Absolutely. Go the Valley. Good to see them here. And
expect you to be very unbiased in this commentary.
I will absolutely be unbiased in this commentary. I'm just looking at that head there. Very, very good start. First end anyway. Very good start. Looks like Liv with a shot on the back toucher there.
So both had quite convincing semi-final victories in the end over Lindley O'Callaghan and Lynn Summerfield for Scott and Stevens, and for Bloomfield and Baker over Lisa White and Lil Renata.
Sarah setting up for a run or a drive here. Playing with good solid weight.
Doesn't have the line right.
Yeah, a little bit wide on that forehand. Early days.
Yeah, opening end of this women's final. You have the men's semi-finals taking place also here at the Hopes Bowl Stadium in Dunedin. You have the Northland champions, Daniel and David Hood, up against Leif Selby and James Williams, the Auckland champs. And then it is the South Island contest between Central Otago's Bill Clements and Trevor Ludlow up against Albert Anderson and Sam Wood of Nelson. As Liv Bloomfield completing this opening end of the women's pairs final.
Must be on a good track there whether she clears her front one. Just a little shy. Indications there were...
Well, we've got the markers as well. That will certainly give us some assistance. A great
shots.
Start for Bloomfield and Baker. 3 on the opening end.
So we've got similar bowls there off the front for Paris and Bronwyn, obviously with the pink speckles, so we need to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, just to test the commentary out.
Yeah,
that's for sure. It makes it even tougher when the bowls are same or similar colours, but great start for the Auckland combination against the locals, and Scott and Stevens. I assume pretty much all local players play a lot here over the winter?
Yeah, no. Both based in Invercargill, but playing out of Dunedin Centre. And Sarah, of course, moving down to Invercargill a couple of years back. has been teamed up with Bromwell for quite some time, so they've done well down in Southland, but moved back to Dunedin Centre this last year, and both playing for the Valley, so we're very happy to have them. It's the second time Paris has lost that chalk. I'm pretty sure she'll be tucking that away somewhere else. Pretty good starter by the look of it. Liv giving a bit of a tap
enjoying that.
Probably a couple of feet.
Very colourful on the green as well as Liv Bloomfield.
Oh, yes.
They have fun out there, that's for sure, these two.
Heart on his sleeve, that's for sure.
She wanted me to point out that they're known as the Newland Nutcases. So
I'm not even going to comment, honestly.
Obviously very proud of how they are out on the green. Yeah, like to have fun, which is the main thing.
Bowl for bowl here, that's a good start from both of them. Over the top.
Certainly is. What we expect from two very good players. Obviously, Paris Baker, very much an emerging player amongst the New Zealand system. And then you've got Stevens and Scott, who are both in that New Zealand high performance squad that was announced during the week.
Yeah, correct. Great to see them there. Paris, obviously been involved in the past. A good toucher there from Paris. And poached by Tonga, you could say, maybe.
Oh, it was a good move by Tonga, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Worked out,
indeed.
paid off with a world title. Under 25 singles at the end of 2019.
So I play a little bit here in this facility, and it's on pretty good settings here, Brenton. They call them the PVA settings, and it's nice and even on both hands generally, or consistent. So we should see some really good bowls here, and it's shaping up good already.
And there's not too much difference between the rinks we're playing at, or we're playing in one of the middle rinks.
One of the middle rinks is probably a good mix between the two. It does get a little bit slower down the far end, down at 8, but up this top end it gets a little bit quicker. But so here should be quite good.
Both played either side of this TV rink earlier in their semi-final wins, which only completed around half an hour ago, and then straight into this final. The men's final to follow here on Sky Sport Next from around 4 o'clock. Men's semi-finals taking place at the same time. Also have a special third member of our commentary team will be joining us at the completion of this end. We're going to be getting Elliot Mason, who's a player very well known down in these parts, getting around to talk to a few of the characters here at the Hopes Bowl Stadium.
Probably won't be happy with that. A little shy on the delivery there. Needs to be over the top to that zone. So some good bowls in the pocket there to be used, and a couple of shorties as we'd expect in these early stages. Good crowd out there.
Oh, the crowd has been certainly here, I understand, all week. A great crowd yesterday when I arrived here in Dunedin. It's a marvellous facility. Both of these combinations obviously coming through section play well. Scott and Stevens, 3 from 3. Whereas Bloomfield and Baker dropped one of their games in section play, winning 3 of 4. Before winning their quarterfinals and semi-finals, both rather convincingly earlier today.
Yeah, you could say that. There's still some very good bowls played by both teams in both games. Sitting cast my eye over the whole lot, and there was some very good heads. Pretty good bowl here coming in from Sarah. She's going to draw the shot. Back toucher, side toucher, well done.
Yeah, so it's great viewing for the fans here, isn't it, at Hopes Bowl Stadium. That big glass area and behind the green where everyone can get those chairs nice and close to the glass and have a great view of the whole facility here.
Yeah, no, it is. It's very well set up for viewing. Talking to some of the players, they're loving the consistency of the green, or the blue-green, as we call it. Pretty good looking bowl coming in here from Liv. Sit the bowl fat, and she's got the shot. Well done. Great shot. Back toucher.
Yeah, great little battle between these two. First Scott with the toucher, and a great reply from Liv Bloomfield.
Bromwell calling, just play the same shot.
Easy as that.
Easy.
Do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't need to commentate the next bit. It'll just happen.
You obviously know what to expect
And
from Sarah Scott here.
she's got some pretty good line here. Very, very close
Bronwyn
again.
Stevens is interested.
Oh, that's a great shot again.
Oh, what a bowl. Hasn't quite stayed there, so I think still going to be one to Bloomfield and Baker at the moment.
Quality bowls second end. Very, very good.
Yeah, settled into their work very quickly. Great battle between two skips here. Bloomfield's going to follow this one down.
Sure that she's got the pace here.
Yeah, doesn't like it. She'll let you know.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
You know,
Yeah,
pretty much halfway down with the way that her facial expressions or mannerisms are, whether it's a decent bowl or not.
Bronwyn's having a look for that bowl, getting Sarah to maybe have a look at the bowl through there on the backhand. She gets around that front purple, she's going to be very close at playing it through and have a couple of shots. That's a pretty good call.
So it's the shot bowl of Bloomfield that Bronwyn Stevens is pointing to.
Yeah.
Get rid of that. They can turn it to a number here. Get on the board.
Ditch weight past that front purple and she's close. It's on its way. And that's not too badly pointed. Pretty close here. Edging.
Fine effort.
Yeah.
And just the one down. So I'll take that. Very good effort by Sarah Scott. Not able to grab the shot. So 4-0 now, the Auckland combination. Bloomfield and Baker leading Scott and Stevens after two ends of our women's final of the Champion of Champions pairs. As we now have an opportunity to bring in the third member of our commentary team. It's our greenside eye going into the Mason Lounge with Elliot Mason.
Lawn Bowl Stadium here in Dunedin. There's been some quality bowls throughout the day, and I'm sure that this afternoon is not going to disappoint, particularly in the women's final and the men's semi-final of the pairs. Throughout the day, I'll be joined by a numerous amount of people with some commentating going on, seeing how they've fared throughout the competition, and also how they've been finding the surface. In the meantime, I'll leave it back with Brenton and the team.
Thank you very much. That's Elliot Mason, who will be talking to a number of characters here at the Hopes Bowl Stadium throughout the afternoon. Player some may know from Bowls 3-5 as well, featured for the Gore Rams in recent times, and will feature again in the 2021 season on Sky Sport.
Looking pretty good here too. Look, we're seeing some good bowls already. Getting back to that centre line is testament to the surface here. Both hands coming back to the centre. It's a good sign that things are going to be nice and tight. I'm just sitting on Paris's bowl there. I'm not sure about distance-wise, maybe 2 feet. A little bit deceptive in the on the screen.
It is. Yeah, you'll know from
that's a very good bowl from Paris.
Yeah, doing your commentary of Northeast Valley tournaments, that
Yeah.
the camera angles can be very deceiving. What you think may be shot sometimes is certainly not.
Yeah, I've done some PBA in here as
Yeah.
well, and it's you get someone sitting next to you going, "That's not 2 feet."
Yeah, from our viewpoint, it is.
is.
You got to point out that camera angles certainly can be deceiving.
And brought one back to the centre, but just dropping that pace.
Yeah, not the right weight that time. That's a reply to that good second bowl from Paris Baker. Both her and Bloomfield with their UBC hoodies on as well. Played in that tournament.
Yes. Friction tighter here, Paris, but she the stadium does give us a couple of lines into the head sometimes. You
Right.
can take a wide line and you can take a narrow line. So just a little bit of lacking of weight there to hold it past her, past Bromwyn's short one. But we'll be looking to improve on that last. Certainly concentration in the eyes there from both Paris and Bronwyn. And once again, she gets past this, it'll be close.
Unfortunately not.
So,
Runs into that short bowl. So as the skips now change over, it is Bloomfield and Baker holding shot. After a good start here, the Auckland champs. And that's what has been happening so far in their quarterfinals and their semi-final. They got off to a good start and they were unable to be chased down. But they were going to have a great combination trying to do just that here, and Scott and Stevens played together for a good 7-8 years, and while they haven't had that big breakthrough title, they were very good at the National Intercentre for Dunedin. Won all their games leading up to the final and then ran into Val Smith.
yes, yeah, and Val was on fire at
Yeah.
the tournament, as we all know. Certainly played a great game there.
But a big reason why Dunedin made that National Intercentre final at the
Absolutely.
Wilson Bowling Club, these two.
So Bronwyn just calling Sarah to get up under that front pink and see if she can get to the jack, get to the bowl. Doesn't want to be shy. Movement's no worse, I think. And that's a pretty good track down there. She's got the weight to hold and carry, and she is very close. It's a great effort.
Oh, unfortunate.
A great effort.
Oh, that's so unlucky. You try and do that another 50 times and try and find that gap, you couldn't.
No,
You'd get
no.
something, you'd get the jack or the bowl. She's managed to find that very small corridor in between the Paris Baker bowl and the
And a bit of
jack.
a bit of a smirk there from Sarah, thinking, how did I actually miss
Yeah,
that?
exactly right. That's unfortunate. And the luck hasn't quite gone the Northeast Valley pairing's way so far.
So Olivia's swapped over here, and that doesn't surprise me, but she's short again, so that's not going to be of any value. I'm not surprised she swapped, but
Yeah, Teapot
unfortunately she
again,
needed to
not
be.
happy on the mat,
Mm.
is Liv Bloomfield.
Sarah's smiling about the opportunity coming for her this time, I think.
She was near perfect, and has to play near similar line. She get either the
She's
jack
not
or
bad
the shot
again.
bowl.
She gets down under that pink bowl. She's close.
And she's close once more. Bronwyn Stevens interested. It's going to get past. No, it's not. Just gets a feather on that short bowl.
Oh.
Finishes in a handy position, but I don't think it's quite shot.
Yep, no, still one down by the look of it to Paris's bowl sitting just jack high there.
Yeah, Paris Baker herself indicating that indeed she is holding shot.
Opportunities, though, that Liv really needs to get in here with her third. She'll be conscious of the fact that she's dropped a couple short.
Certainly want to make the correction here with her last.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
if
this
she's-
looks maybe narrow. Going to run into those bowls of hers, is it? No. Yes, just gets a slide off it. A really fortunate slide, though. Not quite enough to be second, I don't think.
Looks like still the one, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But still the same shot. Bronwyn calling Sarah, sit that bowl, make two of it.
So I made the
Two very
adjustment
good
with her
efforts.
weight there, Bloomfield. Sorry, Evan.
No, you're right.
But didn't quite have the right line. Got a bit of fortune. Didn't change the picture, though, here for Sarah Scott. The last of this third end. Down on
On its
the
way.
head.
And she's pretty well pointed again. If she's got the carry here, she's going to be in the area again. So it's three pretty good efforts.
This time she's going to get a bit of fortune.
Yeah,
No, she doesn't. She gets the jack, but only moves it closer to the Paris Baker bowl. Well, I don't think you can get three better bowls that
No.
don't get a result
Absolutely.
than those from Sarah Scott. That's unfortunate, but the Auckland combination benefit, and it's Bloomfield and Baker, who now take a 5-0 lead. 3 ends gone of our women's final of the Champion of Champions pairs here at the Hopes Bowls Stadium in Dunedin. Brenton Vinisroy alongside Evan Roberts, National High Performance Coach with Bowls New Zealand, and knows these players, especially the Dunedin combination. Scott and Stevens very well and knows this facility too, which we're very lucky to be at, and we'll be back here as well in September for North-South on the blue-green here in Dunedin.
Yeah, looking forward to that event.
Yeah.
Lots of talk already around it, so that's good. The Scott Stevens pairing will just be looking to continue doing what they're doing. You know, they've got bowls in the area. They've had a little bit of bad luck, I guess you could say. Shots well played, just not getting the result. So they'll be very confident with how they're playing, and just wanting to minimise any numbers and keep plugging away.
Well, we have an opportunity to go back down to the Mason Lounge where Elliot Mason has his first guest, someone who's very familiar with Sarah Scott and Bronwyn Stevens, and that is Roger Stevens.
Yes, I'd certainly hope that Roger is accustomed to Bronwyn Stevens, seeing that they are married. Yes, I'm joined with Roger Stevens. Roger, how the girls been going over the weekend? Like, obviously they've performed well to get to the final, but what are their thoughts so far?
Yeah, look, they've been solid all weekend. Got through their qualifying. They had games that were, you know, could have gone either way, but they were solid all the way through. And you know, the big thing is when you get here, you want to qualify first and foremost, and every round after that really is a bonus. So yeah, no, they're excited about getting the final for sure.
Oh, absolutely, and obviously they're finding the surface pretty good.
Oh, mate, it's absolute credit to whoever it was 25 years ago came up with this, and yeah, it's a good surface to play on, and obviously the better the surface tend to be the better the heads are, and you know, you've got to be going good to be playing in the final. So yeah, no, really enjoying it. Yeah,
absolutely. And just looking out here now, there's certainly no shortage of bowls around the jack. It's been good to watch. Obviously, Bronwyn and Sarah are down at the moment, but we know that they're fierce competitors, and we would expect them to come back.
Oh, you know, it's early days. You know, there's 12 ends to go yet, and as we know, one end can change a game, and as you said, it's a matter of getting them close, and you know, a couple of big conversions, it's game on. So no, it's nothing in it yet, to be fair.
Awesome. We'll pass it back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Elliot Mason. First contribution from the Mason Lounge. The local Dunedin identities, Elliot Mason, who will be catching up with a number of the characters over this Champion of Champions Peers tournaments here in Dunedin, as we are in our fourth end of the women's final. Good start from Olivia Bloomfield and Paris Baker out to a 5-0 lead. Skip's turn now. Bloomfield first to play.
So that situation there, I think Paris got a couple there.
Been very solid off the front, isn't she?
She has been very solid off the front. Thanks for turning my mic on, Brendan.
Always turn you on. Evan, of course, Evan and have shared a room together.
We have.
Yeah, so we know each other very well.
I'm pretty sure that's why he muted me, because he knows how much I talk.
Yeah, usually when you're asleep.
Oh.
Enough of that pillow talk. We'll leave that for later.
I think I'm blushing.
No, it's just the heat. It's very, very warm in our commentary
Pretty good
position
looking
there.
bowl coming in here from Sarah. Just going to hold to the outside. Oh, what another good effort. Just going to need to keep doing what she's doing now. As you say, Paris been very solid off the front. Good bowls, good positional bowls. At the moment, got the wood on Bronwyn, but good competition still.
Yeah, you can see why she won a under-25 world singles title, Paris Baker as well, with her draw play and the peers here. I think she won silver in the peers as well. I think
there might have been something like that.
Yeah, with one of the Welsh players. It was a bit of an odd combination because there wasn't
actually
a second Tongan player. No, I don't think
Correct.
there was a second Welsh player, so they formed a mixed pairing, which took out the silver medal.
It's a good opportunity here for Sarah. That Olivia's just sat to the left of, or to the right as you look at it from the head on the screen. Opportunity here for get a little bit of a sit. for Sarah to play something similar to what she did, she's just still round the outside of that purple bowl.
Yeah, just looking for her fortune to turn. But some of the pressure has been placed on her for this good start off the front for Paris Baker. It's meant that the Dunedin combination have been playing catch-up on each end, having to make things happen.
So I'm trying to figure out the colours there. I think that's another good bowl from Liv.
Very good bowl. Touch it.
Changes the shape of that a little bit too, so may force Sarah into a change of hand, or actually still just plug down that backhand and tighten that line with that same weight, and she'll be looking for a result down there.
Mark is showing that they're holding 3, Bloomfield and Baker.
I don't think she'll be changing her hand. She'll just want to slip past that front bowl and sit the purple, move the jack. Nice confident, which is what she's been playing down here.
So the last bowl of this fourth end, Sarah Scott, 3 down on the head.
Unfortunately, we've got Liv in the line. Paris, sorry, in the line.
Yeah, it happens a bit with players, I suppose, who haven't played as much of our games that are streamed on SkysportNext. But for the most part, they keep out of those camera angles, so looked like that was a 2, and 2 confirmed. So she cut down one of them, Sarah Scott, with her final bowl. But continuing, great start for Bloomfield and Baker. 4 ends played of our women's final of the Champion of Champions pairs, and they lead Sarah Scott and Bronwyn Stevens 7-0, and have not really given Scott and Stevens an opening so far. Sarah Scott's been unfortunate with some of her bowls, but it's been very, very good from the Newland combination.
Yeah, those opportunities, if they continue to be available to Sarah, I'm sure that there'll be a change of fortune. In here, the consistency is such that you know, if you hang in there and you get that line, get that weight, you're there. I mean, it's like any game, but it is, you are able to play confidently down the line that you've picked and know that it will sort of get back to where you think it's going to be. So she'll be still confident that they've got bowls in the area and still able to play the shots. Another very good start from Paris. Bowl low, 6 inches from the jack. Good start.
Oh, there has been maybe 1, 2 ineffective bowls so far from Paris Baker. She's been very, very consistent so far these first 4 ends, and now starting the 5th.
Bronwyn just needing to be arriving with that first bowl and getting in the pocket behind. If it's not there, it's just over the top, and have an opportunity with bowl 2 and 3.
Again, sticking on this backhand side is
she's
Baker.
playing it well, playing that side of the rink very well.
Slightly narrow this time. Yeah. She makes the indication at the top of the green. It was a bit narrow. Apologises. Not really a bad bowl, but not quite as consistent as she has been.
Yeah, you see, you make a rod for your own back, don't you, when you're playing as well as what she has been off the front, and then all of a sudden you throw one that's not as good, and you go, oh my goodness.
Shaking her head.
She should be very pleased with the way she's going. So certainly giving good service to Liv.
I think what she's most disappointed about, she maybe has given an opening here for Bronwyn Stevens.
That's a very
and
good
Stevens said, thank you very much. Finally a mistake from Paris Baker. And she's got one right in behind the jack now. Good second bowl from Stevens. Reminding you, we have the men's semi-finals taking place as well. Daniel and David Hood, Northland, up against Leif Selby and James Williams of Auckland. And Bill Clements and Trevor Ludlow, Central Otago, pairing up against Albert Anderson and Sam Wood of Nelson.
Another very good bowl there from Paris.
Mate, those of you know your bowls, you'll certainly be familiar with Leif Selby's name, former Australian international, now living on Waiheke Island in Auckland. Certainly doesn't play as much, but I don't know if you've seen too much of Leif this weekend, but the quality he's still got. Yeah, He's of the highest standard as Leif Selby. It'll be interesting to see if they progress through their semi-final. We'll have, of course, the men's final to follow. More misfortune there for the Dunedin combination.
It's a very good effort again, and just finding that gap. So, like, you'd be picking it to either pick up the cat or sit that either of those front bowls, and you'd have a result. And to actually just feather the wing.
And all you can do is smile, otherwise you'd be
Absolutely.
depressed, wouldn't you, with how it's going so far?
You've got to take confidence in the fact that you're actually in the area and accept that that is going to happen. If it continues to happen, then you go and buy a lotto ticket, because your luck's going to come in at some point.
Yeah, there's got to continue to be those bowls in the area. So near miss from Bronwyn Stevens is now Liv Bloomfield on the mat for the Newland pairing.
Pretty well pointed here too. Breaking into the head now. Yeah, it's a very good bowl.
Yeah, applauded by Paris Baker.
Sarah sticking on that forehand. Wouldn't surprise me if at some point they've got a couple of bowls in the head at the back that they look at that bunch, because it's sitting there. They're getting a little bit possibly getting a little bit frustrated with the fact that they're not getting the results that they think they possibly could be getting.
Yeah, knocking away that bowl there really opens up that target now if they do want to play with some weight.
I guess it's down to the player, but sometimes a change of attitude towards the game or towards the head can change things, give you some confidence and remove some confidence from your opposition. So that's where we get into that mental aspect of the game, how they play it. And Liv is actually on the wide here, going to sit a little bit. Oh, she was going to cover.
Fist pump there between Baker and Bloomfield, so happy with that. Was the lead for the Auckland champions from their skip.
And Sarah looking at Bromman calling Sarah a little bit sharper on that backhand maybe. Got a bowl back. Stepping back, that's good. Step back from the mat when she's not 100% comfortable. Reset and go again. All very competitive players, so won't be enjoying being 7 down here. And this is the shot that we were talking about.
Playing with that extra weight. Just going to miss the target.
Holding on that line, staying up, so that's still a bowl realistically in play if she decides to go with it again.
Yeah, not the worst result, that's for sure.
I think it's just good to get some of that energy out as well. Like you've been drawing, trying to get the sit, trying to get the shot, hitting some holes. Have a bit of a loosener on that sort of shot and see how you go.
So you saw the marker there indicating that Bloomfield and Baker are holding 3. Now Liv Bloomfield with her last of this, the 5th end. Will she try and put in some extra cover again, or
going deep again? Is she? No, draw into the head. Another bowl on the head.
that might be close for 4. I think that bowl just past the head from Bronwyn should make it.
Yeah, go again.
3. Oh no, maybe the 4 is going to be indicated here. So it is indeed holding 4 at the moment. So can Sarah Scott execute this time? Otherwise, they're in one huge hole. Really, you think they've got to at least cut this to 1 or 2 here. Stay in this match in the early, it's still early stages, of course, but it's fast getting away from the Dunedin combination.
They'll certainly be looking to
Scott
reduce or score.
on the drive.
And this is closer.
Definitely closer. She's got the jack right back, and that's what they needed.
Yeah.
Sarah Scott's got 2 bowls back there. Should be a couple. Is it maybe even 3 or 4 indicated?
Shots.
Oh, what a swing. That was brilliantly done. 4 down on the head. Turns it into 4 up. So now 7-4 is vastly different to 11-0.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just changing that style of play for that end. Like needed to be changed, and good confident approach and good confident attack, and getting the result is going to give them some confidence moving into this one. Changing the length, Matt right up there.
Do you maybe question why Liv Bloomfield didn't put another covering bowl in there?
Well,
knowing that was certainly how they're going to play that?
I'm uncertain whether she was actually attempting to do that but just didn't quite complete with her last.
Yeah.
She was certainly on that wider side, maybe just lacking some weight to get in there. So execution, maybe it's great to be able to call it, but I'm not certain on that.
No,
that's not up.
Throwing the jack away. That's not what you want when you finally get it back, get control of the mat and the jack, and now that short distance end they wanted to play, and now going all the way back is Paris Baker saying, we'll bring that mat back, thank you very much, and we'll play the length we want.
I don't think the girls will be too concerned. They were just looking to change it so that
they're trying to throw them off,
throw them a little bit. Yeah. But they've been playing. They've had bowls in the area at this length, so I don't know that they'll be too concerned. Certainly, they would have loved to have held on to it, but hey, that's the game.
And as you touched on before, it was only a matter of time before their luck turned.
Yeah,
they played some good bowls, and they were staring at going 11-0 down. That Scott drive from 4 down to 4 up. And now we have this 3-shot deficit between the two, and we certainly have a game in our women's final.
Certainly better to be 3 shots down than 11.
Excuse me. Yeah, very strong position now for a contest.
I can see what's going on in Bronwyn's head right now. With that short bowl again, her first bowl. That first bowl effectiveness is one that we talk about a lot at high performance level, and she'll certainly know that she's needing to make that adjustment, and I have no doubt that she will. Paris has just been on it since go, so all credit to her. I was going to switch over here. Give herself a chance up to Paris's bowl. If she's confident to it and slips past it, that's good. She grabs the jack, it's good. If she sits the bowl, it's good. Just get one in that back pocket. So it should be a little bit swoopier out on that hand.
Right.
Should be a bit wider, so it'll come back. Should get back to the centre line. Does, and it's over the top, so not quite to the centre. Oh, pretty much. So happy with that.
You're also the lead for performance analysis, Evan, with Bowls New Zealand, and you're mentioning some of the terminology you use with that, like effective, ineffective bowls, etc. How important is that, and how much work do the Blackjacks do in that area now?
Well, we're moving into the campaign that we're moving into with the Com Games in Birmingham, of course. We're moving to a completely different green type, so it's going to be important for us to understand where our athletes are strong and weak, and so we can, develop further the strong and make adjustments on those weaker shots that are being played. And the analysis side of it gives us that. We understand how many bowls are short and how many are over, and with their long, short, wide, whatever. So it gives us a good indicator of how people are going. And effective bowls, you're always looking for that first bowl effectiveness. And when we're playing on Australia, we fall into a little bit of a trap there, dropping short with our first, and we need to be quite confident drawing at that jack. And it's similar anywhere. Confident drawing to the jack, at the jack rather than to the jack with your first bowl. And there's a couple of good bowls in behind. So Paris has been good in that she's had shots on the head and then shots over the top. So none of Paris's there are short.
And that's exactly what you want from your
Absolutely.
lead, isn't it? Especially first bowl on the jack, others right and behind. Been very impressive. And there's Paris Baker, the lead for this Newland combination, the Auckland champs. Looking to win this national title, champion of champions pairs here at the Hopes Bowl Stadium in Dunedin. I hope you are enjoying our coverage, wherever you may be. We have the men's final to follow from around 4 o'clock. Men's semi-finals currently taking place alongside us here on our television rink. Daniel Hood and David Hood, Northland champs, up against Leif Selby and James Williams of Auckland. Central Otago's Bill Clements and Trevor Ludlow up against Albert Anderson and Sam Wood of Nelson.
Yeah, there's been some good games played across the disciplines. Watching some of that men's stuff earlier, some very good bowls played. So the quality, the quality of the surface actually allows them to play that as well. So it's testament to the stadium here that the surface is allowing the players to make those shots that they're looking to play, and also just drawing solidly to the jack. Sarah looking positive here.
Had some great bowls played as well last week at Nine-Eye, the Champion of Champions singles. Of course, month of Champions tournaments that we're bringing to you on Sky Sport Next. Just misses, finds a narrow corridor once more. That's almost been the tale of her match and final so far, Sarah Scott.
Yeah, it's one bowl of Bronwyn Stevens sitting on the wing there, and they wouldn't want to see that. They wouldn't want to see that. Well, I didn't say we at all. They wouldn't want to see that go.
It doesn't like this one.
No, that's on the wide side.
Yeah, straight away knew.
Certainly safe out there.
Saw on the mat from Liv Bloomfield, her disappointment.
Bronwyn having another look at that, thinking, Now, no time limit in this, so they can visit the head, I think, if everyone's...
Yep.
Yeah, here we go. Look at that. And I'm not looking out the window. I can't see that end. So...
Now, we saw that in the semi-finals as well. They took their time, especially in the latter stages of their semi-finals.
I think that's a good option here. They've just scored on that last end.
Here's our great crowd we have at the Hopes Bowl Stadium behind the glass, watching on. Great facility.
Now, the Masons are twins, so is that...
yeah, it's Oscar.
That's Oliver.
Oliver
standing there.
Yeah, he's just in behind in the black jersey, isn't it?
Yep, that's Oliver. I struggle to tell them apart. I've struggled to tell them apart for the last 10 years. Sampling some of the kitchen.
Yeah, the local
drop.
drop.
There, absolutely.
Still taking a good long look at this.
Yeah, they are. They don't want to see that bowl go off the head.
So that's that bowl you're talking about just to the left.
Correct, yeah.
That pink bowl just to the left. So you've got the two bowls on the head of Bloomfield and Baker, and then that bowl of Scott and Stevens just out to the left, which they don't want to get rid of, otherwise have nothing
Brings
near.
another one in, yeah, for the other two. Another one at least, so that's the discussion.
Want some company for that bowl, as Bronwyn Stevens. See if Sarah Scott can do just that.
Looks like she's back on the draw anyway, just to get it under that. Even an edge of it's going to get her close to the jack and put another bowl on the head so that it's not vulnerable to being picked off by Liv.
Don't think she likes it.
She's got a bit of pace on, just going to carry past. Now the opportunity here for Olivia and Paris is to actually
get rid of that
have a
bowl.
look at that bowl, possibly on the narrow. Play under the head for it. Unlikely that they'd push Bronwyn's bowl all the way through, so we'll see if I've got this one right. Undoubtedly it won't be. She is shaping up. camera angles, I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah. The amount of times I've thought that they're playing backhand or forehand and they play
She is
the
playing
opposite.
backhand. She's actually playing draw weight out there. I thought she may be looking a bit sharper underneath.
Don't think that's going to change the situation.
Couple
so
locked out.
2 more for Bloomfield and Baker. Takes them out to a 9-4 lead. We've now completed 6 ends of our women's final. Champion of Champions Peers from the Hopes Bowl Stadium in Dunedin. And men's final to follow. Men's semi-finals currently taking place here. And as I touched on just before, this is a month for weekends of Champion of Champions tournaments. We had the singles at Nainai last week. We're up in Hastings next week for the triples. And then completing the month of Champion of Champions tournaments with the fours in Pukekohe.
Yeah, just the pairing of Scott and Stevens here, they travel Invercargill to Dunedin to play our club events on a Saturday, so that's commitment to the game and to the club. And you know, they don't play a lot in here because the majority of their games are out in the summer. So to travel all through the winter as well is asking a little bit much, perhaps. But commitment to the club and centre is great to see, and being rewarded with a position to be able to play for a national championship here. This looks like a pretty good start from Bronwyn down that forehand. She's certainly not dropped it short, so she'll be happy about that.
Yeah, I spoke briefly to Sarah earlier and asked her what's the biggest title that they won together. We haven't won anything, which I think is slightly underplaying how they've gone. They haven't won a national title together, but they've obviously won a lot at centre club level.
Yes.
And now looking to turn that into a national title.
Yeah, and that's right. They haven't cracked it yet, but they've been there or thereabouts a number of times. So can't deny their spot here.
That's right. And as I said at the start of the broadcast as well, both part of that high performance squad that was announced during the week by Bowls New Zealand. So certainly, I suppose for them, a chance to press their claim for higher honours, with a Trans-Tasman coming later in the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then all leading up to the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham.
Yes, it's exciting times for these players. Bronwyn been part of the emerging squad for the last couple of years. Sarah been in the main squad over the last few years, and you know, the opportunities from here forward are very good. So,
of course, there is that big opening now with Joe Edwards' retirement from international bowls. This means there is a spot that was, you know, an absolute guaranteed spot for Joe Edwards for such a long time.
Absolutely. So yes, the all those squad members have got that on their radar, and already we're seeing a lot of work being done out on the croquet greens.
Yeah, I was speaking with Claire Hendra about that last week. Has it been easy for all the players that you're coaching to find croquet greens to play on?
Actually, not too bad. So down here we're using Leaf, and they are very amenable to us using them, which is really, really good. I've recently spoken to Seamus Curtin up in Wellington, who I work with, and he's the Plympton club there is looking positive.
And that's handy, right now on his doorstep.
Absolutely, and Sheldon Bagri-Howley in Gore has managed to convince the Gore Croquet Club, which is over the fence apparently, for some use there. So, no, these guys are actually taking that personal responsibility to get out and get into it, and that's awesome. That's what we want to see.
Because speaking to Claire Hendra briefly about this last week, she hadn't had a chance to play yet on a croquet green. She was trying to get that all sorted out. But how is it? Is it just the grass is cut longer? Is that the main difference?
Well, I guess the main difference is that it is grass rather than wheat.
Right.
So there is that aspect, and also the I believe the croquet greens are down to about 7 mil, 7, 8 mil, somewhere around that. So we spent a little bit of time a couple of weeks ago and running at 10.5 seconds down at Leith. So it's a real heave. I just about put my back and my shoulder out putting one bowl down. So I sort of left that to the experts. Pretty good looking bowl here coming in from Sarah. And that... I'm not going to call it Brenton. Unsure.
It's a very good bowl, though, regardless if it's shot or not from Sarah Scott. And to put that into context, 10.5 seconds, obviously that's very slow for those who maybe aren't too familiar with the game of bowls. How fast is this running, and how fast would a normal green in summer in New Zealand run at?
So outside of New Zealand, I guess we're looking at anything between 15 and 18. Maybe quicker if you get into Central Otago on some of those greens. And this is probably running at, I haven't had a really good look, but I'm picking it's probably about 15 seconds, maybe around that. So an 11 or 10.5, 11 second green is a real push. I can't actually, if you think about playing corner to corner on a full-size green, that's the sort of effort that you need to put in, probably even more effort that you need to put in to get it from there. So it is very heavy. It needs a good positive body action, momentum, and pendulum, as we term it, and to get that bowl down there smoothly and on the consistent line. So, but as I say, these guys are taking full responsibility for that, and it's great to see that they're doing the work themselves, alongside ourselves as the coaches. But
of course, the lower the number, the slower the green. It's the time it takes for the bowl. Of course, faster greens, the bowl moves a lot more.
Sarah just nicking that jack there. So still one down, at least maybe.
Yeah, I think one was just indicated earlier.
No, I'll measure. So that's Bronwyn's bowl over the top there.
Yeah, so not quite sure. Having a little look at this Baker and Bloomfield.
Yeah, shot down the forehand there. White to pink or purple. Turn the purple onto the jack if it is one down. You know, so be it. It's not a number. I don't think she'll be too shy. Having a think about it. Yeah, playing that forehand, which is the option that I think would be the best one there.
Interested.
And
she reckons she's close.
She's playing that purple split, maybe. Oh, great shot.
Oh, great bowl from
very, very good bowl.
Liv Bloomfield there. You could tell as well straight away when she got in that crouch position, she knew that it was close.
Yeah, no, that's a very good shot.
Now holding three by the looks of it. Yeah, the marker indicating 3 shots to Bloomfield and Baker. Well played by the Newland skip.
Yeah, that's an outstanding shot, really. You know,
it's aggressive as well. Yeah. You know, we're not content to just have the measure for shot. Let's try and actually turn this into something a bit more.
The upshot on here is probably one of the shots that you need to be in the zone, because if you're fractionally wide, it can hold. So it's one of the more difficult shots to play. That was played to perfection.
Sarah Scott.
Sarah playing a very similar shot here, and she needs to miss that front bowl.
Not going to, and not going to get a lucky rub either.
No,
so 3 more for Bloomfield and Baker. So 7 ends played now. And it's the Auckland champions who are leading the Dunedin Centre champions 12-4. 8-shot advantage as we approach the halfway stage of this women's final of our Champion of Champions pairs here from the Hopes Bowl Stadium in Dunedin. We're now in the 8th end here. Sorry,
no, you're right.
Evan, is another opportunity to go down to the Mason Lounge, and Elliot Mason is joined by Lindley O'Callaghan.
Yeah, welcome back to the Mason Lounge. I'm joined by Lindley O'Callaghan from the Alexandra Bowling Club in Central Otago. Lindley, how's the weekend gone for you?
Oh, my weekend's gone really quite good. I'm very proud to get third again in event like this. Yep, the green was lovely. The weather was good inside. So yeah, no, very, very good.
The weather was good inside.
Yes.
Now, you're no stranger to these events. Apparently you were up in Nainai last weekend. How did that go for you?
I finished in the same position as I did today, so yes, but the conditions were a lot harder, and the green was up there, of course, is 40 metres, so that really probably blew a lot of us away. Didn't adjust quite as easy, but yeah, no, it was good. Yeah, very good to be able to represent my centre or my club in both events, really.
You know, it's fantastic, and it's good to see that you've got Trevor Ludlow and Bill Clements out there as well. Now, Bill's got a wee name going around the place as Captain Pathways. Just wondering if you could tell us more about that.
Okay, Captain Pathways come about when Bill would win a lot of centre titles for Central Otago, and he would go away up to usually the North Island, usually Rotorua and things like that, and they used to give him the mic up there and open the things. In fact, we did do it in Dunedin one year playing Pathways. Nobody turned up to open it up, so he did it. Yeah, it's just that he's won a lot of centre titles from where we, and yeah, lots.
Yeah, anyone that knows Bill knows that he is an absolute fierce competitor, and he's currently up 9-4 against the Nelson pairing. We've got Leif Selby and his partner James up against the Hood brothers, and the game is currently 6-5 to the Hoods. Passing back to you now, Brenton. Cheers.
Thank you very much. That is in the Mason Lounge, Elliot Mason. And great to get score updates as well from those men's semi-finals as well, which are going alongside our women's final between Olivia Bloomfield and Paris Baker up against Sarah Scott and Bronwyn Stevens. We're playing the 8th end, and it's been very impressive so far from Bloomfield and Baker. Just the one end of the 7 played that Scott and Stevens have managed to score on. And that was on an end that Bloomfield and Baker were actually holding for as well. Now, which pinks?
I think that's a couple to Paris there.
Yeah. Slightly different shade, aren't they? You
They are
can
slightly
actually tell them
different shade.
apart. We've got a bit more accustomed to them.
Yeah. So a couple for Paris. Good bowls again. Her third one, or her third bowl, I think, is the one out beyond herself there.
Yeah, just obstructed by her and camera shot. That's the third bowl. There's the skips change over. Liv Bloomfield first to play.
Playing down her forehand, she won't be doing much more than just trying to draw to that head, I think. They've had good success at getting bowls close, so just keep stacking them in there. And she's a little tight. This is Bronwyn coming forward. Oof, or not. Just slipping underneath. Bronwyn giving Sarah the you choose which way you're going to draw. Something close there. Sarah's on her backhand. And that's probably a reasonable line. Wait to hold here, she's very close. That's a great bowl.
It certainly is. What a shot. And you could see it early, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely a sigh of relief, wanting something to go in her favour, and it has that time. Great bowl. Look good out of the hand, as Evan Roberts is calling it. And sitting on that Baker bowl and staying for shot.
Liv looking to play down onto the white, tip the white onto the cat and spill that back for another couple of shots still. So still those bowls, positional bowls of Paris is proven to be giving Liv the opportunity to play those sorts of shots. So all credit to Paris putting them in a position for her skip to play these shots, and that's a pretty good effort.
Yeah, not far away at all.
That's a very good bowl.
I think You saw Paris Baker just calling it to slow down. It's still 1 Sarah Scott, but great effort from Liv Bloomfield.
Sarah will be still on that back end, just looking to get past her own. She won't really want to make too many changes to that. If she can get over the top and sit in those two, sort of stops that little bit of a flop on the jack. It's 3 shots back there now if that jack does move. And she won't be happy with that.
Coming out well short.
There's an opportunity here for Liv to crack an egg on that white bowl and make 3 shots here. Coming down to have a look at it.
And as you were mentioning just before, the way Paris Baker's been playing off the front has really allowed Liv Bloomfield to really play attacking, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
she's had so many bowls in and around the head of Baker. If she hasn't been holding shots, she's had opportunities to turn into shot.
Yep.
And that was
No.
the case on the previous end.
Very good lead bowls from Paris. The girls aren't out of this yet still, the Sarah and Bronwyn. You know, holding 1, 12, 5, 7 shots and only going to be playing end 9.
Just pausing for a moment there, Bloomfield, making sure she knew what she was going to do in her mind. Now, playing on the forehand. Bit of a kick of that right
Yeah, not
toe.
sure. With that thing, she's too hit. She's
Yeah,
close. She's got the shot. What's going to happen to the jack?
It's worked out well.
Yeah, very
Bit of fortune perhaps, but
well.
she was in the area. That was the main thing. Gave herself a chance.
Absolutely. In the area and bowls to work to. So I think that's just the one.
Yeah, just the one the marker indicating there.
And it's a similar shot for Sarah there, playing there, and she's indicating it. Play down to her white shot, her white bowl, white to the purple shot, or white to the jack, and move it again. And there's opportunities there as well.
So we like to see this, the head changing, bowl for bowl. It's been good
Yeah.
quality on this 8th end. Adjustment of the mat by Scott. Looks like she is going to try and do that shot that Evan Roberts just mentioned. Play with that little weight
she's
onto
looking a
her
bit of
front.
weight through.
That white bowl,
And this is not too.
just a touch wide. Yeah, it's just gonna almost rocked that bowl there of Bloomfield's further into the head.
One
But it's
down.
going to be the one for the Newland pairing, and now lead 13-4. And we've played now 8 ends of our women's final here of the Champion of Champions pairs at the Hopes Bowl Stadium in Dunedin. Men's semi-finals taking place as well. We have the men's final for you later this afternoon from around 4 o'clock. We had a score update earlier from Elliot Mason, who is greenside of those men's semi-finals, and we'll go to Elliot Mason again into the Mason Lounge later on to get an update, no doubt, from those men's semi-finals once more.
Yeah, so the crowd being treated as some good bowls over both rinks here. The beauty of sitting up in that lounge, you can see, as you said, Brenton, the glass all the way through, so you can find a spot where you can watch most of the rinks.
Yeah, I
which
find it
is,
actually it's hard to pick what to watch. When I was up there earlier, when you had the quarterfinals of the men and the women's semi-finals, I basically found myself keeping track of nothing because I was trying to watch every single match.
Yeah, and that's the trap, I guess, that you do. Sort of you lose track of everybody instead of focusing on at least one or two that you can sort of get.
But it is a great viewing place here at the Hopes Bowl Stadium. Great facility, and as I mentioned earlier, we will be back here later on in the year for the North v South, which has got the new exciting Ryder Cup style golf format as well in September. Very much looking forward to that tournament. New Zealand's best of the best all playing here. Men and women, power bowlers as well. Our best players coming back from Australia, Caitlin Inch and Chris Lalieve and also Ali Forsyth.
Yeah,
So
no, it
it's
should
going
be
to be great.
a bit of a festival.
Hope that obviously everything, travel bubble, obviously allowing for that to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be one of the keys for that. Those.
Are you going to be involved with the south side? Or?
Not as such. No,
No?
it's an opportunity for us to watch rather than hands-on.
Yes,
which
yeah.
I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
Of course, the North Island managed by Sharon Sims,
yeah.
and just watching that bowl of Brahmins come in there and taking the jack away for one shot there. Should be happy with that. And the South, Morris Symes, of course. So they'll be working through the processes with the athletes and sorting out their sides, who's playing what with whom. So looking forward to being able to sit and watch.
You like the format as well? You much of a Ryder Cup
yeah,
golf
well,
fan, or
there's that for the third time Paris has dropped that chalk. Sorry, I saw her do it on the first day, and it's been twice since. Look, I think it's a good concept. It sort of opens things up. It will create interest in what's going on, because it's not, until no one's going to run away, hopefully. So we should have a good, solid.
it's always decided on the
through.
singles, even if there's north or south get away in the pairs early on and the fours. You still think it's going to be decided on all those singles matches on the final day.
Of which there's a bunch. So
Yeah.
yes, it's you could make hay while the sun shines, or you could lose a bundle as well. Oh, we're zooming over to nowhere.
Well, we have our production team who are trying to juggle cameras and also eating lovely smelling toasted sandwiches. I don't know if that's been cruel to the commentary position, but that was a bit of karma, I think, for our production team here. Selfishly eating their beautifully smelling toasted sandwiches next to us. Well, very well looked after here at the Hope Bowl Stadium as well. Some good kite.
Yeah, look, once again, opportunities here. Liv's having a good look at it. Playing down her backhand. If she's around that front one, she's close to the... No, she's just going to get caught.
Yeah, unfortunate. Oh, no, it does come underneath it, but didn't quite have the weight.
Makes it a little bit ugly now for Sarah. She will be keen to be scoring again. Looking to pick up a one or a two, perhaps change the mat around. They've sort of stuck with tried to change the mat length and threw the jack away.
Yeah, on the one end they
she's
did
not
win.
far away from the jack here. Gotta get an edge.
Oh, got an edge that would have thought would be beneficial to get the jack, but again,
Liv
just the
giving a
luck is
shake
not
of the
going
head.
her way. And even Liv Bloomfield saying this is crazy how well her opposite has bowled, but just not got that fortune going her way, Sarah Scott. She's got to stick to it though, even.
Yeah, absolutely. I think once again, they win an end and change something up, I think will be their plan. Although to be fair, these two have wherever the jack's been, they've been fairly homing in on it. So, but these things need to be tried. And Liv looks to be going deep here. Oh, I'm lying. Ignore me.
No, I think just given how Paris Baker was reacting, it was meant to be going deep. That was what the aim was, just not the execution that time from the Newland skip. And you can see at the end there and behind Sarah Scott, not very happy with herself. Gets one final bowl though.
I can hear the applause out there. So there's obviously some good bowls being played in that men's semi as well. I don't think Sarah's going to like this one.
No, we'll turn her back on that one. Well under the line. Again, Paris
How much
Baker.
more? Like about 3 metres.
Yeah.
For goodness sake, get it down here. witnessed the same thing in the last game, looking for cover bowls and instead drew 3 shots. So it's easy to do here.
This time the right leg hanging high in the air from Liv Bloomfield. If it gets round,
well done.
That's where Paris Baker wanted it. Almost got tied up one of her own. Slid past it. Now Bronwyn Stevens having a little look.
If Bronwyn's bowl goes off the head here, that's going to bring another 3 or so shots in. So I'm not sure that they'll be. It's got to be confident for the jack and play the shot, or look to get through second shot or something. I'm unsure what Sarah's playing. I don't think she's got the weight that she. No, she's back on the positive draw. Needs to clear the purple.
It's a good effort, unfortunately.
Yeah, good effort.
Find that purple, and it's one more for Bloomfield and Baker, who have now scored on 8 of the 9 ends and take a 10-shot advantage, 14-4. They lead Sarah Scott and Bronwyn Stevens. And given that they held 4 on the end that they dropped playing the last bowl, it has been quite some performance so far.
Yeah, it has been. Absolutely. Just thinking back, you've had Roger Stevens being interviewed by Elliot there, and of course Elliot and Roger and Bronwyn finalists of the mixed pairs and nationals, recent nationals. So no strangers to being in, at the sharp end of these sort of tournaments, and they'll be scratching their heads out there going, right, what do we need to do here? How are we going to do this? How are we going to make it happen?
And it all starts off the front with Bronwyn, doesn't it? And it needs to try and get the better of Paris Baker, even if they can just win one of the ends at the Bloomfield Baker length, and then they get that mat back and try and
change something.
Change something here, because they tried it, and as you mentioned before, they threw the jack away. Not long enough. And so then it went back to this length, which Paris Baker has been very comfortable at. Bronwyn Stevens hasn't been bad.
No.
It's just Baker's been sublime.
Yeah, she's been very good. Very good at getting in the area, getting in the zone, getting over the zone. She's played some very good bowls. That's a good start from Bronwyn. She'll be happy with that.
Yeah, right and behind. For any jack movement, it's a very handy home to be.
Paris, of course, came to Broadbeach with us in about 2018, 17 as part of the New Zealand development squad. And her first international foray, I think it was, so enjoyed her time over there. Came back and then, as I say, snaffled by Tonga.
So what happened there? Did New Zealand send someone else, and so Paris took the opportunity to represent Tonga? Or
no, I think Peter Thorne got involved there with Paris being involved, working with Paris there, and got into that Tongan spot, and right, deservedly so. It's a great opportunity for her, and she sort of kicked on from then. So I don't recall she was unavailable for New Zealand for a couple of years at least, and I'm not sure what's going on there now, of course, with the COVID situation, what's happening, and but still obviously playing very good bowls.
Yeah, hopefully for her sake that she is able to represent Tonga at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham as well, because we were talking about all this work, of course, on the croquet greens, and it's because of the Birmingham Commonwealth Games and the next World Bowls beyond, if Gold Coast World Bowls ever happens, is supposed to be in the Northern Hemisphere as well. So slower greens, which are the norm over in the UK and
very
Northern
different
Hemisphere.
for our athletes here.
And we don't have a great history, do we, of New Zealanders playing particularly well over in the Northern Hemisphere as well, not compared to the South. Great bowl.
Yeah, true. That's exactly right. We've had some successes in the women's there, but the men.
Oh, true, particularly the men. Yeah,
particularly the men. Mike Kernan, lead of the current campaign. I think the last man to
have a Commonwealth
medal at
Games.
Com Games, and that was in the Northern Hemisphere.
Of course, Joe Edwards has had success in the Northern Hemisphere. Gold medal at the Glasgow Commonwealth Games, being the latest. Well, could this be the end where the fortunes change for
I think so.
Dunedin combination?
I think that's it.
This time they're holding as the skips change over, and I don't know if this has happened at all in this match throughout the previous 9 ends, where Liv Bloomfield's on the mat and is 2 down on the head.
Down on the head, yeah.
Might have been 1 down on the head, but certainly not 2.
There's been a couple of instances of 1, but she's changed that fairly rapidly, which is credit to her.
So we spoke about Bronwyn Stevens needing to get the better of Baker.
Pointed well here. Here's a change again.
Oh, what a bowl.
Very, 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 very tidy. I mean, these guys are deserving of the lead that they have currently. So, and Bronwyn and Sarah will be, completely not comfortable with it, but they'll understand that the play that's being put up by Liv and Paris is currently just that fraction better and deservedly taking the lead. And Sarah pretty well pointed here too. She drops under that front bowl or onto it. Yeah, pretty close here. That's a pretty good effort. Still holding the 1. I think Liv's still got second shot there, and once again able to draw confidently. The edge of the pink bowl is going to get her into the shot position as well. So a couple of options there. The wide pink bowl, that is.
Game face back on from Liv Bloomfield after a bit of a laugh with Paris Baker.
Yep. Don't know that she's got the pace here.
Yeah, didn't quite have the weight. I think that looked on to a decent line if she had a bit more weight.
So no problem here for Sarah to play that same shot. Movement of the jack's okay. Get to the second shot would be great.
Follow this one down.
Fractionally wide here, I think. Getting into a good home out the back there. Certainly good positive weight, which is good.
You see the indication from Paris Baker about the weight that she wants to see from her skip.
So I'm picking these guys that have stopped complaining about the Dunedin weather, because on Friday night when I was here they were wrapped up in numerous layers. That's a pretty good bowl from Liv. That's number 1, I would suggest.
Well, I do know still both rocking the hoodies. It's certainly in our commentary little office here. It's very warm.
Yeah, it is.
But it's still quite warm out on the green, isn't it?
Oh, it's tropical out there. It's in actual fact, look out the window here. It's sunny. It's blue sky.
Well,
it's 4 degrees.
Especially when you compare it to last week at Nine-Eye, it is chalk and cheese.
Oh, yes.
Very, very comfortable for the players. You can see Sarah Scott in the T-shirt, and it is a very, very well heated facility. Unfortunately, that's not quite what you say about Nine-Eye.
No. Nine-Eye is that little bit cooler.
Yeah.
Sarah with an opportunity here to take the shot, maybe make a couple of it if she moves that.
I suppose the good thing of this, one of the good things about this Champion of Champions tournament being held in July, we get to tour the New Zealand indoor facilities we have. There's not too many indoor facilities.
There's an opportunity off these bowls here. These wing. She's not going to get the outside edge rather than the inside edge.
So, is it just the one? I think it's the one to Scott Stevens.
I actually thought the purple bowl.
The purple bowl might be shot.
Did sit, but Bronwyn's checking it out. She'll let us know, or someone will let us know anyway.
thought the
Crowd
marker
haven't moved from their seats, which is good. Obviously enjoying the game. Our technical officer standing there, our umpire. I'm thinking Bronwyn's suggesting that's our shot. Paris is
I thought the marker seemed to be favouring the red lollipop. That's where I was going with.
Yes, yeah, true.
Rather than just going with because obviously the camera angles are deceiving. So, but Paris Baker wants to make sure of this. Not quite willing to just take Bronwyn Stevens' word for it. Yeah, and I might maybe even call it official here to decide this for the umpire.
No, Paris has given that.
So it is 1-2 Scott and Stevens.
Okay.
Winning just their second end on the 10th. Is this the turning point of this final? Women's final of our Champion of Champions pairs. 14-5 it is now. Bloomfield and Baker. The Auckland champs out the Newland Club. Now leading Sarah Scott and Bronwyn Stevens from North East Valley here in Dunedin.
Yeah, 5 ends to play. And 9 shots to make up. A couple of shots at the end, or maybe a couple of sixes would do it.
Obviously speaking as a member of the North East Valley Club and someone who works with both Sarah Scott and Bronwyn Stevens, but
look,
that's needed to do this, didn't they? If
they did.
They've now got their length.
Correct.
So see if this throws off Paris Baker, and if they just build a couple here, a couple there, cut this deficit, make it tight going the last few ends.
Absolutely. They'll be looking to score a multiple on this end to give them a bit of a springboard into the next sort of 4 ends. And that's a reasonable start. Over the top is good.
You just don't want to be short.
I'm not sure that it's their length.
No.
I think that they're sort of like going, what are we going to do here?
No, absolutely. I think it's more throwing off and trying to make it a bit harder for Bloomfield and Baker. I'll see how Paris Baker
She's on
adjusts.
a pretty good track to start with, so she's going to be close. Yeah, very good.
Okay. Round of applause from her skip, Liv Bloomfield. Very tidy start.
I was going to do some homework and figure out what they're playing with. I know Bronwyn's playing with... now I don't. I don't know whether her GTRs or whether Eros. GTRs, possibly. And I'm unsure what the rest are playing with, aside from Sarah, who's playing with XGs. That was a bit remiss of me.
Oh, do your homework before the men's final then.
Yeah.
Will we have a short break in between?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll do a bit of racing about.
I think if Leif Selby makes, I think he's playing with Drakes.
Okay.
I believe. I heard someone mentioning earlier today. Was former Australian international. Now domiciled here, living on Waiheke Island.
Partner of Lisa. There goes the 4th time.
Has she noticed it this time?
Yes, she's noticed it every time. She's picked it up every time, but it's the 4th time that chalk's dropped. Hasn't made any impact on her game. Yeah, it's a good spot there.
I love the fact that she didn't let it affect her at all. She didn't even go pick it up straight away. She still continued to watch her bowl down the green.
I'm unsure where it's coming from. She got it tucked into her hat, maybe. I'm not sure.
Not into the, I was thinking the hoodie pocket.
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe.
That's another good bowl here from Bronwyn.
There's great bowls off the front from these two.
That's good. Should be happy with that. Couple of shots. Put the pressure on Paris.
Yeah, the mark indicating there. Holding 2 is Bronwyn Stevens.
Liv's just saying, just get around that. You're all good. Certainly a character on the green.
Yeah, wasn't quite getting a message across, I think, as she realised, actually, that wasn't probably the best way to say that. I think Paris Baker has got what her skip was after now. So ready to play. On the forehand. Follow this one down.
She's not far away here.
Very good effort, and that should be second.
Yeah, very good effort.
So now just holding one as the skips change over.
It's a pretty good looking head, really. You know, there've been some good heads played.
Well, the short bowls are only short because of the jack movement, aren't they? So very good start from the two leads, Stevens and Baker. Now skips making their way to the mat. This is the 11th end of 16 of our women's pairs final. We have the men's pairs semi-finals taking place at the same time here on this green. We have Daniel and David Hood of Northland against Leif Selby and James Williams of Auckland. And the other semi-final is an all South Island affair. Central Otago's Bill Clements and Trevor Ludlow up against Albert Anderson and Sam Wood of Nelson.
Sarah got a bowl right there going deep onto the ditch, which is probably a good spot. Any positive play from Liv.
So
Jack's opportunity, chance to move back there.
just like we have here in the women's final, we will have a North Island against South Island men's final, all setting up for North-South.
Yep.
Back down here in Dunedin in September.
Close again here. Still one shot to the Stevens and Scott pairing.
Yeah, indicated there by Bronwyn Stevens. Finger went up to let Skip know. We're still holding.
So to turn that bowl over of Bronwyn's and for a second shot on the back end. And that's not a bad line for it.
Stevens
She's
is
got the
interested.
pace. She's got the pace.
Yeah,
Line's good. Bowl
Yeah.
speed just lacking.
yeah, I think Bronwyn Stevens thought the same as you. Was on a good line. Was interested and then realised I wasn't going to have the weight to reach. So I wasn't far away with the first Bloomfield.
Certainly tighter. That's possibly still just the one. Yeah. Sarah Scott with her last down that backhand, looking to just skirt the purple. And she's on a good line for that as well. How's her pace? Very good. Flops there, she's second shot. That's great.
Or is it done
Is it?
enough? I think it might need a faller. No, the marker's saying it's done enough.
Oh, look,
Great bowl.
just ask me.
Great eyes, Evan Roberts.
The camera angles certainly don't give you the ideal angling, but it's pretty good. Pretty good to be able to sort of get an idea, pretty good idea of who's got what going on.
Yeah, great to have, of course, our officials to give us that real clarity. Of course, they can get right over the head, tell for sure who's holding what. And I thank all the volunteers who make all these events possible, of course.
And Liv's opportunity to change this.
Playing with weight
Not lacking in any pace, that's for sure. She's
in the area,
Yeah,
and she killed it.
good shot.
Yeah.
Then that's the beauty of having those bowls in the area to work to and work from and work off. We're going to go back, or we're going to stay at this end? We're going to go back.
I'm going to go back. I
Yeah.
like the look of playing this way.
Yep.
So they're going to pick up all the bowls.
Yeah, they'll be doing the same again, leaving the mat where it is and
Yeah.
trying to put that jack back in that spot.
Yeah, well, it's working for them, so why not?
Absolutely.
Even if they have to carry all the bowls back.
And my first opportunity to sit in this commentary position, Brenton, and thanks to Tamara for walking me through it and talking me through it last week as to the setup here, and it's very impressive, I can tell you that. And gives you watchers a great opportunity to see some great bowls at very high quality.
Yeah.
They even get to be able to eat and do the work as well.
Although, as we found, especially Colin Williams, not so adept at the multitasking.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was Tamara.
it was actually Tamara.
I think she bumped the joystick, didn't
I
she?
apologise, Colin. Our curry champ from last night.
Without Koshik being here, you went for a curry.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, now you've let Koshik know now.
It's true. Good work. Always a curry.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, when we were with Koshik, high performance manager at Bowls New Zealand. Oh, they're asking for the tape here to see if this is long enough, and understandable when you're Bloomfield and Baker. Let's try and get back to our length. Called for the tape. So the umpire's coming on here. I think we only saw this happen once last week at 9i in our finals. No. So it's been thrown away again. It's the second time. Unfortunately, Bronwyn Stevens has given up the jack. So Paris Baker grabs the jack and takes them out all the way back.
Yeah, the long trek back to the 2 metre mark, or 3 metre mark. As you can see, you can probably see on the screens there at home, that's the 2 metre mark being spot there, a little white spot. So she's about another metre to the front of the mat, so 3 metres up.
And this is your normal 36 metre, I assume, rather than the 40 we had at 9i.
Yes,
Certainly
yeah.
not as big as 9i.
Yeah, I think it's 36, this one.
Which you heard
Should know.
Lindley O'Callaghan mention earlier, having played at 9i last week and also here at Dunedin Bowl Stadium. That was through quite a lot of the players, especially when they're playing ditch to ditch, meant they were playing 36 metres.
Yeah, exactly. It certainly makes a difference. We've got some support bits and pieces down there by the look of it. Liv.
Yeah, I saw some support from some of the kids.
Excellent.
Some signs for both Liv and Paris.
Oh, that's awesome. Good to see. Get involved. Come down, support your teams. Still a great opportunity to get down here this afternoon and watch a men's final.
Absolutely, yeah. If you're in the area, get on down.
Absolutely. It's warm.
Exactly. You got good food here.
Good food.
Good viewing places.
Some beverages of your choice.
And you don't have to listen to us.
Exactly.
So come on down to the Dunedin Bowl Stadium.
That's the clincher. 2 good starts there.
And for those not in Dunedin, tough luck.
Yep.
Brenton Vanessaroy alongside Evan Roberts and Elliot Mason, third member of our commentary team, our greenside commentator, who's been bringing a few interviews throughout the women's final and will do so throughout the men's final, which will follow. I think we might have had one of the men's semi-finals completed. I hope to bring you a score from that at some stage. But so it looks like the Bill Clements, Trevor Ludlow, Central Otago combination against Albert Anderson and Sam Wood of Nelson, that semi-final's been completed. But still going is Daniel and David Hood of Northland up against Leif Selby and James Williams of Auckland. We'll bring you those scores as well, and of course we will have the men's final from around 4 o'clock here on Sky Sport Next. And it's still plenty of action to be decided in this women's final. We are replaying the 11th end after it was killed by Liv Bloomfield. Then the jack was given up, and now playing at length. Bloomfield and Baker, for the most part, have been pretty dominant on, although recent ends, Bronwyn Stevens has really been up to the task and has actually
This is probably
got the better of Paris Baker.
Yeah, Paris's loosest end, actually.
See if she can bring it back with her last.
First bit's good. It's going to come down to bowl speed here, and it doesn't look too bad, does it? She's made a pretty good adjustment.
Yeah, so after being short and then not quite on the money with the second either. Good adjustment with the third.
Unsure who's holding there. I'm in one blue.
Yeah, it's just a little mid-green chat there as well between Bloomfield and Baker. Bloomfield is pulling Paris toward it just to say something. Not quite sure exactly what that was about. Wanted to obviously keep it away from Sarah Scott and Bronwyn Stevens though.
So 1 to the Bloomfield Baker team, indicated by the marker there. Sarah will be looking to get down. Move the jack is okay. Get to the bowl is okay. Don't think she's got the pace.
No, coming up short.
Paris is indicating play that forehand as well. Liv just confirming.
And does the speed of the green here change at all during the day, or is it because the temperature is pretty similar it doesn't, or it does?
It does.
Yeah?
It does change fractionally. It's
Right.
not. It's not a huge variable in the big picture, but it does slow down somewhat. Although it is interesting. I've come here in the evening and thought, oh, it's going to be a bit heavy, and it's actually been really quick.
Okay.
So I'm not the person to ask because I struggle with it at any pace.
I was just trying to offer maybe an excuse for why we've had all of a sudden a few short bowls on this end.
I don't think the pace is changing at this point in time.
No, you wouldn't think so.
No, it's fairly consistently temperature's fairly consistent out there currently. So
Bit a weighted bowl that time by Scott, but not quite the line. Ran into
just
a
wanted
wide
to
bowl.
say that.
Yeah, just wanted to be inside there. It's dead right. See if Bloomfield can make the adjustment with her second. It doesn't like it.
Turned her back on it.
Yeah, not a good sign. Yeah,
She's
well
under
under the line.
Sarah will be looking to make amends here. We touch on that. Jack's going to give her a couple. She drops to the shot bowl of Paris Baker's. She's going to take number one.
It's all about which skip delivers best with their final bowl because they've been a bit off in their first two.
So this is a bit better pointed from Sarah. Got to come down to pace again, and she's not too bad.
Just want it to hold up. Not far away, really need to sit on that bowl. Still one, and that's that Paris Baker bowl, still holding shot. So a chance to make it two here.
Yeah, good opportunity for Liv to make it two, and
That would maybe all but shut Scott and Stevens out here.
starting to get to the pointy end where you need to be. The Scott Stevens team need to be making a multiple to sort of
It's just
retain
one, but
connection.
that 10-shot advantage has been restored. So 15-5, and we've played 11 of the 16 ends.
4 to play.
It's been very, very well played by Bloomfield and Baker.
Yeah, they just haven't had that many loose bowls, have they? If their bowls have not been shot, they've been in a good space beyond, or handy to the zone in which the jack's going to move to. So limiting the options for the Scott Stevens pairing to make numbers, and in reality, that's what they need to be doing now.
Yeah, dead right. Winning this end isn't good enough for Scott and Stevens at this stage now. They need to get, two is the absolute minimum, but really you need 3 or 4
Stack
just to
back
give them a
and run back to the
chance.
ditch. There you go.
Yeah, you have to start doing something, isn't it?
Well, the thing is that
Just
jack
drawing. You're not being able to outdraw Paris Baker. You need a number. And You saw there just the reaction of Bloomfield. Didn't want to be short, knowing that the opportunity for Stevens and Scott is if they get some jack movement, try and turn it into a number. Of course, Bloomfield and Baker can shut the door on them.
Yeah, that's a good line down here for Bromwich. She's going to carry over the top, which she has. Happy with that. I love you're indicating Paris is about 18 inches short, I think. Which in the bigger scheme of things I'll be quite happy with. She's just cut her line here. So good comments from the players about the facility. Spoken to quite a number of them over the last couple of days, and the surface they're very happy with, and the facility generally they're very happy with, and the organisation obviously happy with. So it's all good news.
Oh, it's a good little dress rehearsal, isn't it, for North South in September? Yep. So that's very good to hear. Just short again. See if Paris Baker can make the adjustment again with her third.
She's talking about changing her hand, maybe. I don't know, she's still going to hang out there.
Still can see a line to the jack. Bit of a grimace as she let that go.
I'm not sure what she thinks, whether it's a bit pacey, maybe. She thought that.
Looks pretty handy. Just urging it on. There it was. Bloomfield. Get another one. Not quite reaching.
Last bowl for Bromwich Stevens. Make their way to the head. Interesting to see when they get down there and have a look at their bowls and think that could have had that extra 2 foot of weight on there. Getting applause there, so 2 red, 2 for the Scott and Stevens pairing.
But really, by the standard of heads we've had, there's still a lot of room for the skips.
Olivia's been playing very well down there, and I think she'll be looking to play down that forehand, just get into that space.
But it's a start for Scott and Stevens. Is what they need. They need to score, you think, a multiple on this end to stay alive, with the ends fast running out.
And Olivia certainly playing that forehand. She can see that run through there. Or not run, beg your pardon, that line through there. Only on the draw. First bit's pretty good, but I think Paris is urging it on, so we're picking that it's going to be shy of weight, and it is. Sarah looking to slip around that outside, that wing bowl to get back to the centre line, and another shot. Paris just hanging out in the middle of the rink.
Turns her back on that one. Yeah, maybe it's just that, you know, the fact that it's getting to the business end of this match, that starting to get maybe a tensing up a bit and not quite delivering the bowl as a 10-2. So there've been a few short ones recent ends.
It's short as well.
Yeah, again, another one. It's from that angle, looks like it's blocked up.
Block that line.
That line up.
That'll make it interesting. Sarah just needs to add 3 feet, 2.5 feet, and she'll get round that bowl and get back to the centre line for another shot. No, beg your pardon. Maybe 2.5 metres in. She's tight. She's going to get an inside rub off that purple. Can't see.
Yeah, so made a good adjustment with her weight, didn't she? She just didn't quite get the line right, but it might still be counting there.
Paris encouraging Liv to play up to that. Opportunities. Push the bowl through, get to one of those counters.
Just got to be reaching the head. Paris Baker's interested.
I think it's turning again, isn't it?
Yeah, it's narrow.
Yeah, that's interesting. Liv has played good pace down there, good bowl speed, and 3 bowls running shy of weight down there. Maybe things are changing.
So they're holding a couple, Scott and Stevens. Sarah Scott playing the last of this, 12th end, so a chance to turn this into 3 here.
She'd be very happy if she can get around this and count for 3 shots, and it's a good line. It's going to come down to pace, and it's not there. So
it's not going to change this. So that's the bare minimum. They've got the 2, the bare minimum to, I think, stay alive. Or I think maybe, was it 3 indicated there by Paris Baker? She drew the shot in the air, so we'll wait and see. I think it was just the 2.
2 shots.
Yeah, 2 confirmed. Couldn't quite. I don't know why players do that, the draw in the air rather than just hold up the fingers. It's a bit clearer, the fingers holding it, isn't it?
No?
You like the drawing in the air?
Yeah, I don't mind it if it's a 3. I don't mind it.
Yeah. Well, that's what I thought it was when she was drawing,
Yeah.
but she must have just been drawing the 2, which is 2 different to the 3, obviously. Just didn't see the last little.
I'm happy to call them out as long as it's not an 8. And has that stayed in?
So it is 15-7. So there's just
mat up again.
a few ends remaining. Yeah, they're playing shorter length. Mat up. And now 2's not good enough on this end. You'd think they need a 3.
They need a 3 here to really give themselves a sniff. Yeah, it's a pretty good start.
Yeah, very good start. Last couple of ends, both leads haven't quite been able to find the target. Great start from Bronwyn Stevens. See how Paris Baker responds. It's on a decent line.
Absolutely.
Very good response. Still
the
Stevens holding.
Yeah, so things have evened up a little bit off the front in the last couple of 3 ends. Paris certainly dominated that first sector. That's a pretty good line from Bronwyn. Should be toucher, holding shot. Of course, we've got the umpiring fraternity here. They've been on duty all weekend, so as always, thanks to the volunteers that are around that make these things happen. And that chalk again. Oh, look at that. You actually had to point that one out.
Well, I was worried you'd missed it.
I know.
You've been so vigilant.
I know.
The previous 4 drops, was it? The 5th?
This is the 5th one, I think.
Did you see where it dropped out of, though?
No.
Oh.
No.
So we haven't got to the bottom of that yet. No, certainly hasn't seemed to put her off the game, though.
No, definitely not.
Been very impressive. That's one reason why the Newland combination are in this very strong position here. But last couple of ends hasn't quite been at the same high standard. Bronwyn Stevens has taken up advantage of that.
Yeah, over the top. That's a good bowl there. Split the difference between the jack and the ditch. That's good. Olivia calling for the same sort of thing. Get to the bowl, get past the bowl, get onto your bowl.
That much extra weight.
That crowd hasn't moved.
Well, you wouldn't want to give up those spots, would you?
No.
Prime position there.
Everyone's hanging out, watching the full event, and Paris is just a fraction. It's a pretty good effort too.
So holding shot is Scott and Stevens as the skips now change over, make their way to the mat. Bit of a conversation between Bloomfield and Baker for Liv Bloomfield follows Sarah Scott to the mat.
Sarah just indicating she walked away. I'm just going to get down there past that bowl, and I'm sort of in the area. So as long as she gets out there and gets around it, then there's chances. She's under the line. There's not much. And I think that'll turn under, I think.
Yeah, it was turning under, just came up short.
Conclusion of the second semi-final. Out there I can hear the applause for the men.
Yeah, hopefully bring you a result of that one shortly as well. Don't know if you can see the scoreboard out there, Evan.
No, it's just
at a little window.
on the wrong angle.
I couldn't really tell from facial expression as to
Who's got it?
who had it. Both seem to be smiling somewhat.
So there's certainly pace here. One to the Scott and Stevens pairing. Need to be scoring a multiple here.
Yeah, more than two. You'd think to really give them a chance and to really put some pressure on Bloomfield and Baker over the last couple of ends.
Second ball on its way for Sarah, and the track's good. Hasn't got the
Yeah,
pace.
hasn't got the weight, has it? I think now Paris Baker saying use that bowl as a guide. Go on the inside of that Sarah Scott bowl.
Yeah, any contact except for the outside of it is good for Olivia there.
Yeah.
Inside or half the bowl is going to get her in close. Quarter of the bowl is going to get her in close.
Can she execute?
She might not need anything. She's looking very close to the jack here by itself.
Oh, unfortunate for her. It just jammed it against the shot bowl and hardly moved the jack.
Yeah, is it still just the one now, or is that
Possibly an indication. Marker
just the one.
Just kept feet and kept the eye on the picture at the head too. So yes. Oh, you'd think. Yeah, so maybe the short bowler's second.
Short bowler's second shot.
Yeah, short bowler's second. So we've got the second bowler behind the head do. Or the third shot and behind the head do Scott and Stevens.
So any movement on that jack for the Scott and Stevens pairing would be good. It would give them the three. Does open it up a little bit for Olivia on the forehand should she choose to play it if it does move. I mean, I'm surmising here, but these guys need to be looking for numbers.
Yeah, one's certainly not good enough.
And the first bit's pretty good. I just down to the bowl speed again. It's just
unfortunate from Sarah Scotland that she hasn't been able to get that right weight on this end. All three of her bowls coming up short.
I don't think the Bloomfield Baker pairing would be too concerned with dropping a one here.
Absolutely. I don't want to. That's why I think Paris Baker's weighing up. If you play the shot, do you risk dropping more?
Well, they're having a good look at it, so that's good. They're still, not playing defensively, considering not playing defensively, which is a good thing.
I think as long as they are comfortable with it, if they play the attacking shot, they couldn't drop a big number. I think they'll play it. And I don't see any big numbers, possibilities there really. If you do play the aggressive shot, maybe you could drop a two.
Yeah, I think just looking to draw a shot down that forehand. Not sure whether that's Paris indicating a shot at her toe or whether that's just the weight. I'm not sure. Olivia Bloomfield delivering her final bowl. And to me, that looks tight.
It's a fair effort.
Tight enough for a second shot.
Yeah. So
one to the
just
Scott
one. At this stage, doesn't look enough. 15-8 it is now. Bloomfield and Baker still in a commanding position. The Newland combination, the Auckland champions over Sarah Scott and Bronwyn Stevens from Northeast Valley here in Dunedin.
Yep, 2 to play, 7 shots required to force an extra end. So no short bowls here. Will be the call.
And you'd think they'd need at least 2 here to even play the 15th end.
Yeah, well, you're going to need to be.
You're going to have to really hope for something special on the last end to pick up 6, aren't you?
Yeah.
Obviously, just winning the end keeps them mathematically in contention. But you'd think they'd want more than that to actually feel that they can either level the scores and force an extra end, or win it outright.
Yep, as long as they give themselves some chances, then that's the main thing. Give yourself some chances with some bowls like that. Any movement of the jack, you know, it's going to be, that's fortuitous, or not fortuitous, that's going to be beneficial. So that's where they need to be.
Yeah, just can't be short. And that'll be what Paris Baker is thinking as well after that first bowl from Bronwyn Stevens.
Matching Bronwyn's first bowl.
And that's all they need to do.
Absolutely.
Bowl for bowl. They've got a big lead here. I don't mind if they lose the end, they just don't want to drop a number. So if they match their opposition bowl for bowl, they can't drop a number. And that'll be the focus here. Protect this lead. They've built it very well.
And interestingly, looking back at those first 4 ends when when Olivia and Paris jumped out to that 7-0 lead, there was actually very good bowls being played by both sides, and it was really just missing the gap, or hitting the gap, or just getting a bit of a fatter edge and things that put the girls from Northeast Valley behind. So. Not much in it at all when you look at some of the shots that were being played and the possible results that were available.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. Sarah Scott a number of times finding gaps rather than the shot bowl or the jack.
Exactly.
Yeah, could have been a very different story. But likewise, it could have even been worse because...
It's not all bad.
Yeah, it could have been worse because they... At 7-0 up, they were actually holding 4.
Yes.
Going the last bowl of what was, I think, the 6th end.
Yeah.
Could have been 11-0. And instead, Sarah Scott, from 4 down, turned into 4 up. And that put the Northeast Valley pairing on the board. But since then, Bloomfield and Baker managed to keep them at arm's length. And this is the closest it's been since,
that's
I think, the 6th end.
Flopped over. Yeah, so they'll be starting to wonder whether there's an option here to squeeze the jack, or, I mean, it's a pretty good bowl in behind from Paris, dead in line with the jack. At what point do they decide they're going to go for the kill and go again?
Well, you'd think if they do play with weight that the kill is what's going to happen to that jack, isn't it? It's not.
Yeah.
It's hard to find a way to turn this into a big number here. That's what they need.
They need to get to Paris's bowl and push it off. They've got 2nd and 3rd, I think. Yeah. Olivia's sort of going, hang on, I was going to play that other hand. She's just left the head. Everybody had a picture in her mind. She has gone to the backhand. And the first bit's good. She's got good track. Yeah, that's a pretty good bowl. 2 shots, very good shot. So now need some jack movement. Put it in the open. She's close.
It's very close. What's it got? It's got the jack, and unfortunately it's just moved it back onto that Paris Baker bowl.
Jammed it on Paris's bowl now. So
and that's why that bowl we knew was in such a good position, wasn't it? Because if there was jack movement, most likely thing was it was going to go back to that bowl, given how close it was, right behind.
They'll be looking now as to what they're going to do.
Yeah, we have a conference meeting between Scott and Stevens as Liv Bloomfield plays her second. And this is the penultimate end of the women's final here of our Champion of Champions pairs at the Hopes Bowl Stadium in Dunedin.
Yeah, they're looking at it now going, well, we can't half of that bowl. Easily, it's a fine cut to get the bowl off the head and get past the shot of second shot of Bronwyn Stevens. I think that's their only option though. If they get the jack, it'll kill. If they get the bowl and manage to miss, then it's a couple of shots for them. Cut the Paris Baker bowl off the head without taking out the Stevens bowl. Olivia Bloomfield still one to come though after that, so this is a fairly crucial point of the game.
There's something special here, otherwise they'll be shaking hands. Bloomfield and Baker holding.
Straightening them out, I think Sarah's going to be big on this.
It's usually the indication, isn't it? When you fix that mat up, you're going to play with some weight.
This is full weight. In or out.
Gotta hit the target. So either kill or come up with something. It's got something.
Yeah.
And it's landed on one of them, but that will do it. It is shake hands time, and it is the new Lynn pairing of Olivia Bloomfield and Paris Baker, who have taken out the women's final of our Champion of Champion pairs here at the Hopes Bowl Stadium in Dunedin. I'll make my way rinkside to catch up with the successful team of Liv Bloomfield and Paris Baker. And I'll leave you in the hands of Evan Roberts for a few moments to give you final thoughts. Yep. And then we'll bring you a post-game interview from Liv Bloomfield.
Okay, well, there we go. The women's pairs wrapped up for 2021. Champ pairs from the Hopes Dunedin Bowl Stadium. Those first 4 ends, the Scott Stevens pairing, as I say, a little unlucky not to get some results in there. With their, they were very good heads and very good opportunities, and quite unlucky in some instances. But again, played in good spirit, lots of smiles and the like. So once again, the game that we love playing, and that's why we love playing it, is that everyone has a good time and someone wins and someone loses. But a good game, and certainly hunting the Scott Stevens pairing, hunting the opportunity to put some runs on the board. And worthy winners, Olivia and Paris. Played Paris leading off the front there, sort of set that up, very definitely set that up for Olivia being able to play the shots and be confident with her draw. So all credit to them. And you don't get here, you don't make a final by not playing good bowls. So both of them have played well throughout the tournament. and obviously throughout their centre, their club and centre championships. And congratulations to both teams. Not sure how long it takes Brenton to get down there. He's just dragging them over now. So once again, thanks to all the markers and the like. Here's Brenton coming on now, pointing at the camera.
Baker played absolutely superbly.
Oh, it's bloody hard on the swimming pool, but yeah, it was. We just came away with it. We did it for all our nutcases back home, so that one's for you guys.
Well, you seem pretty at home on the blue-green, they call it here.
No, we're not at home. It's grass and it's green. It's supposed to be green, not a swimming pool.
Just talk about how Paris played off the front, because especially those opening half a dozen ends, she really set it up for you.
Oh, mate, I'm proud of that girl, no matter what. She's played good.
What does this mean to you, to have now a national title for yourself in Paris?
It means a lot to us. We've come a long way. It's been tough, but I'm so proud of Paris. Really proud of that Tongan princess.
And for the Newland club as well?
Yeah, I'm really proud for them. They'll be having their beers and swearing and whatever. Yeah.
Well, congratulations. We would better let you go get your trophy.
Cheers, mate. Oh, and also, that was for my dad as well. Cheers, Benny.
Awesome. That's Liv Bloomfield there, the skip of the successful women's pair who have taken out our Champion of Champions pairs title. We'll now head over for the presentation and the trophy to be handed out to both Liv Bloomfield and Paris Baker as I make it back to Evan Roberts.
Well, there we go. Good words from Olivia Bloomfield there. Obviously enjoying the moment and acknowledging Paris Baker's consistent bowls to get them to that point where they were, unbeatable really. Good solid efforts. I'll leave you with the presentation now.
Thank you very much, Evan. Yeah, unfortunately not able to get a microphone out to the presentation table, so I'll talk you through it, but it's great to have Evan Roberts, our National High Performance Coach, providing some expert comments. As we're now about to have the presentation, we have Mark O'Connor, our Bowls New Zealand President,
I'd
there.
like to thank the Hopes Dunedin Bowls Stadium for hosting this event. You've been a wonderful host over the 3 days. And I'd like to especially acknowledge John Latimer and Anne Craig for the work that they've done in supporting us over the weekend. It's been outstanding and made my life a lot easier, I can tell you. I would also like to acknowledge all volunteers that assisted over the weekend, with special reference to the umpires and ably led by the Chief ITO, Michael Ayers. Can you please give the umpires and Michael a round of applause?
Mark McKenzie, the Tournament Director.
I also just want to acknowledge the Bowls New Zealand team that were here and CEO Mark Cameron for the running of this event. It's been another great event for the Bowls. I also want to acknowledge our Sky Sport Next team, Tamara, Brenton, Colin, Evan Roberts, who's been there, and Elliot, who have helped with the commentary. Our live streaming now goes all across the country with these events, and we're even getting viewership from overseas. So it's putting bowls on the map across the country, which is fantastic, and our players are loving it. Now to the presentation of the medals for the 2021 National Champion of Champion pairs. Semi-finalists and bronze medalists in the women's pairs: Lindley O'Callaghan, Lynn Somerville from Central Otago, and Lisa White and Lil Renata from Wellington. Congratulations.
So Lindley O'Callaghan, who we heard from the Mason Lounge, and Lynn Somerville, the Alexandra Bowling Club in Central Otago. One of the bronze medalists, and the other bronze medalists, Lisa White and Lil Renata from Nine Bowling Club in Wellington, receiving their medals from the Bowls New Zealand President Mark O'Connor.
finalists and silver medalists, Sarah Scott and Bronwyn Stevens.
And now our runners-up, Sarah Scott and Bronwyn Stevens from North East Valley here in Dunedin. Runners-up, receiving those silver medals from Mark O'Connor. Well supported by the fans here at Hope's Bowls Stadium.
Winners, Olivia Bloomfield and Paris Baker.
And our champions, Liv Bloomfield and Paris Baker from the Newland Bowling Club in Auckland. Maiden national title for these two, and you saw how much it meant to Liv Bloomfield, as Liv Bloomfield's going to say a few words.
I've already had mine too, so she can have it too.
First, I just want to thank Bowls New Zealand for running this event. I want to thank my awesome partner who saved me so many times during this weekend. Also want to thank our supporters, Bossy, No Green, Tinder, and I'm Black Eye, sorry. Shout out to you guys. Also, congrats to all the winners, and also big shout out to our club, Newland Bowling Club, and in Auckland. So yeah, thank you.
And there's the trophy for Paris Baker, who shared a few words there, and her skip Liv Bloomfield. Our women's champions are the champions of champions peers here at the Hope's Bowl Stadium in Dunedin.
On behalf of Mark and myself, thank you very much for watching the women's event, and please stay around for the men's event, which will start at 4 p.m. Thank you.
And that completes our ceremony here, our post-match of the women's final, the champion of champions peers, Martin McKenzie, the tournament director, reminding you we will have the men's final from 4 o'clock. So stick around here on Sky Sport Next. Plenty of top quality bowls coming to you from the Hope's Bowl Stadium in Dunedin.